On today's video, we're making smoked baby back ribs. We got baby backs from Costco, and I tell you why I love baby backs from Costco. They come in a 3-pack, and they already peel the membrane for you. So there will be no membrane pulling in this video. Thank you, Costco. But I do want to talk a little bit about rubs. I get a lot of people that go, why do you layer rubs? Well, when you layer a rub, the thought is, so the last one that you put on would be the first one that hit your tongue, starts first. So if you put a hot rub down with a sweet rub on top, it's gonna go sweet, and then it's gonna go a little bit spicy. In competition, a lot of people do not know this, but in competition, especially in ribs and chicken, I actually put Killer Bee on the bottom. Your tongue hits the bottom of the rib first. And then I usually like Dirty Bird hot, but for this video, we're gonna use Dirty Bird. So when you're biting a rib, eating it the traditional way, which the majority of people do, you're gonna get sweet, and then it's gonna go a little bit savory. So that is why we use multiple rubs. So for this one, it's windy out here in Oklahoma, so you have to forgive my rub spreading. Look at this massive sucker. They gave us like 2 good sized ones, and then Jesus. All right, Killer Bee on the bottom, membranes pulled. Thank you, Costco. Yeah, I think half the rub ends up on the countertop. It's super windy in Oklahoma, go figure. Killer Bee on the bottom, Dirty Bird on the top. And baby backs you don't have to get crazy with. They're a pretty thin rib, so in competition in Oklahoma back in the day, it just, no one had trailers. This is what started the whole trailer world, the Oklahoma wind, excuse my language. It's next to impossible to cook outside in Oklahoma in a 40-mile-an-hour wind, but yet we figure out a way to do it. All right, last one. This one is a monster. Yeah, see why we got that fat one, but that's okay. Somebody had to get it. This is what I call an eater. This is what you feed the crowd with. Boom, just like that. These are rubbed down and ready to go. Now, we're gonna glaze these with our Asian glaze. And I don't know if you've ever had ribs with Asian glaze. The idea came from a guy in Kansas City years ago on the competition circuit that made an Asian glaze. I know there's a couple out there now that are popular, but this actually started about 20 years ago. When this person pulled up at a competition, everybody was just like, because we knew that he would run that one glaze or sauce on everything and just throttle kick everybody. This rib, if you've never had a rib with an Asian sauce or an Asian glaze, absolute game changer. I'm really excited to eat these ribs today, and yeah, I get to bring you along. All right, so today we're going to be running these on the freaking El Rey. We got the El Rey running at 300 degrees. This thing is going to cook these ribs in 2 hours, hands down. The great thing about baby backs is you really don't have to wrap them. I bring them up to 177, 180, pull them out, then I wrap them in foil, but I do make sure that I flip them in the middle. And we got this sucker cooking. Now this big old honker right here may take a little bit longer, but that's okay. We're gonna run it towards the exhaust. It's a little bit hotter down here, but you really don't run the risk of burning it like you would if you ran it down by the firebox. So I just put them on there. I try to keep the skinny ends this way, but this thing's so big it really doesn't matter. Shut it. We'll come flip them in an hour. So I pulled these off, wrapped them in foil, let them rest for 30 minutes. Get ready. This is what you've been waiting for. Woo! Look at that. Come on. This is what it's about. The cool thing about this is how I slice ribs in competition. I always like to flip them over. You can see where the bones are. I see people stand them up, try to cut from the top. There's actually people that know enough that can do that. I'm not that guy. So this is how I like to cut them. Start at the bottom, and that way I can see between each bone. These look amazing, smell amazing, and you can just hear the juices pouring out of them. I'm also a big fan of baby backs in the can. I call them trash can ribs. That's some of the, that's some good eating right there. All right, so let's flip these back over. I'm gonna spin these around so you guys get a better look. This is a meaty little sucker right here. Save that juice in there. You can pour it over after you cut and flip them. If you don't want to glaze them, pour that juice over the top. Now let's get some glaze on them. Sticky Asian. That's what we're using. This smells amazing. I'm telling you right now, on ribs, pork, or chicken. Actually, even we've had this on stir fry, haven't we, Wes?
Yes, we have.
Freaking amazing. If you just need to hit a spot, pour a little bit on your brush. Oh man, I'm telling you, dude. Game changer right there. Man, those are freaking amazing. You can definitely taste when you layer those rubs or stack those rubs. I highly recommend, if you haven't ever done that, try that at home. Get you an Asian sauce or an Asian glaze. Try it on your ribs. It is game changing. I promise you, everybody is going to love it. Don't forget that one of the reasons why we layer the rubs is because we are telling a story. We want you to taste what it is we're trying to tell. Sweet on the bottom, spicy on the top is going to give you sweet, then a little spicy. Sweet on the bottom, savory on the top is going to go sweet, then savory, and that's what it does in your palate. Now, the inverse of that, spicy on the bottom, sweet on top. You got to be careful doing this, but I tell you what, if you know how to do it, you can do it, and it works amazing because it comes in a little hot and then cools off at the end versus comes in a little sweet, gets hot at the end. So hey, I want to thank everybody for watching. If you want this recipe, head on over to Kosmos Q, print it off, make it for yourself, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace. You see this rub ball? Sweet.